Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. Well, everyone, you join us on the final day of our second trial BTG/STG driving tour.
Where are we again?
Zell-am-See in Austria. Have you genuinely lost track?
Yeah, I'm tired now, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I'm a little tired too. This is one of our final activities. We have a lovely dinner after this and then a little bit more.
How do you know it's lovely? We ain't tasted it yet.
Don't say that. We've got literally our paying guests.
We've got a lovely dinner
right
coming
in front of us. So we have a lovely dinner and then tomorrow a bit of a laid back morning. So it's not over, but yeah, my energy levels are depleting. We are joined by the 51 guests. Actually, not all 51.
No.
Some people are still in the spa.
Most of the ladies, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on a live podcast. It really sounds awful. But we are joined by our guest here. Hands up if your energy is starting to just deplete ever so slightly. Yeah, everyone's ready for bed, I think. It's been an amazing week.
We've had a lovely time.
I think we're going to call it an aquatic week.
I don't know what that means.
Wet.
Genuinely.
Wet.
Oh,
yeah. That will be the theme
right.
of this tour.
You just say
aquatic.
wet, mate. Why would you say aquatic?
I went to Harrow School. I have to just drop little, otherwise my parents get very upset. We have really been, I would say, traumatized by the rain this week.
Yeah.
If I see a rain cloud in Germany again, I will start to shake.
Yesterday, even I was genuinely concerned.
Yeah. And you don't usually flap about weather.
No.
But it just got bad. Anyway, I mean, it is what it is. It's been depressing.
Yeah.
But somehow this group have been fantastic and lifted our spirits, and we have managed to have another epic BTG/STG.
I've actually been impressed with you all, to be honest.
Yeah. We thought you were going to be some dickheads, didn't you?
No, mate. That's not what I meant.
That's the beer
He's had like one mouthful of beer. As that beer goes down, he'll get more mouthy and more leery. So just be warned, all
and
right?
the more wine he has, the posher he gets.
Yeah, literally. We changed seats and everything. Literally swapped seats. I've been impressed with you all this week. One, because I thought at least one of you was going in the barrier. And we've had all the weather, all the bad weather. And you've all kept it on the black stuff, and you've all done fantastic, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, I think actually you all deserve a round of applause.
They do, yeah.
It has been testing at times.
Bearing in mind as well, by the way, for the audience at home, is none of you lot have done group road trips before.
Well, some have. Some have, but the majority haven't.
I thought they were all virgins.
No, you wish. That's your dream. But unfortunately, some had. But for a lot of you, it's the first time driving in Europe. So much so, I think one of the first fuel stations we got to, maybe in Belgium.
It got lost.
No, Dan or someone came up to me saying, so how does this actually work? Surprisingly, just like the stations in the UK. But no, I mean, it's been very impressive. The fact that we're all sitting here, I think, is testament to your driving skill and your ability to put up with us two as hosts. What we thought we'd do, which might be fun for everyone at home who doesn't know all of you yet before we go into all the in-jokes, is actually do a bit of a Rate My Ride with the amount of cars that have turned up for this trip, which has been 30 cars. There's plenty of us to get into. It is
Plus
actually
us.
insane.
32. Yeah.
One sodded off home early.
Well,
Not
nearly
because he had
joined
a horrible time, because he is such a legend. He had a racing team in Spa.
He's got too much money.
And they were doing well. And he suddenly said, well, I've got a wet day tomorrow, my racing team in Spa. I'm going to go see the team in Spa. So do what you want. That sounds fantastic. So unfortunately, Mike and Tom can't be here, but they were key parts of the trip. But let's get into it, I think. There's no other way to do it but rip off the plaster. And I actually don't think he's here, which means he will escape Tony's cruel words. But we start with a Means 997 GT2.
I quite liked it.
Did you?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have one.
Right.
But, I moved it in the car park.
How was that?
Well, I had 3 pedals. I was fuming. I thought, what's that pedal for there? And why'd you have to do that to change gear?
Do you remember when you bought a 997.2 GT3?
Oh, mate, can you remember that? It was we went in it, didn't we?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, it was terrible, mate.
Someone told you it was a good investment.
Someone told me it was a good investment, yeah, but it wasn't, and it was really bad. I cannot imagine one of them with a turbo engine strapped to the back of it.
Yeah, it's a wild thing. It's been heavily modified by Roof and Manti, and I think he said he spent more on it than it cost him.
Yeah, well.
But he's not here, so we're not going to talk about it anymore. So let's move on to, I think, are they here? No, they're definitely still in the Spa. I was going to say who I think are mum and dad of the group. Bowden and Tara in the Cayenne. Would people agree with that analogy? I think of them. Are they here? Oh, you
Bowden.
are here.
Oh, he's here.
Bowden's here. Tara's in the Spa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I think your mum and dad. Your energy has been fantastic. You have been very calm and peaceful to be around. You're in the mum-mobile or the dad-mobile. It's been the practical car of the group.
Well, I was fuming.
Why were you
I was
fuming?
absolutely fuming because he gapped me on the motorway today. I mean, literally, I was at 159 mile an hour on the Autobahn, by the way. I hit the limiter on the M3. That's it. That was just fine. And the Cayenne just sodded off. Just left me. It just kept pulling away. I was fuming.
Well,
I had to go at the cameraman and everything. I said, what's going on here? Got to catch him.
You're cool, mum and dad,
Yeah.
because also you were one of the very first to venture out onto the Nürburgring, which we have to talk about the fact that the Nürburgring was, I mean, not like monsooned on,
It was
but I think
torrential.
flooded.
It was terrible.
And everyone was going, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'd quite like to go on a passenger lap with Tony, seeing as people were debating, the Cayenne just goes, and off they went. So I saw some amazing photos. But yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think an SUV would have fitted in with this group. There's a lot of incredible sports and supercars here, but
yeah.
I mean, I think it's been a great choice given the weather.
Yeah.
And you two have been fantastic company. So thank you very much. Now, where do we start on Cedric's 220i?
Where are you, Cedric?
Cedric? There he is, nervously putting up his hand. That's an evil laugh. Yeah. Now, Cedric, I think it's fair to say you were quite nervous about this car, bringing this car on the trip. You thought, I'm not gonna fit in. I'm not gonna be one of the gang. And even when you arrived, you said, guys, I think I've turned up to the wrong event. There's a GT2 RS in the car park. But there have been so many times that people have said, some knob in a 220i came flying past me earlier. That was Cedric. They go, oh, that was Cedric. So you have not only kept up, at times you have led in that car. And I think it's been a beast, don't you?
Yeah, because you expect me to go in on you. I'm not going to go in. I'm going to applaud you because you've all week, you've brought a knife to a gunfight and you've won, mate. I think you've done a good job, boy.
You have.
You have.
It's been a vibe, and I have many memories of that Belgian registration 220.
You've definitely got some speeding fines, that's for sure.
Definitely got.
But you are going to get them as well because you're European.
He literally said at one point, oh, there were cameras there? So, unfortunately, don't send them our way. But as I say, there was a great choice, so don't be ashamed at all. Dan in the 991.2 GT3. Where are you, Dan? At the back there.
Oh,
Is
I've
that
won it.
car manual?
Yeah, a few.
If you,
I moved it earlier in the car park.
it's another
Again.
car you moved. You
Yeah,
got in
yeah.
all the manuals, didn't you?
I literally got in all the manuals, yeah.
I think that car is
Shit. Yeah. What? I mean, what are you doing, mate?
We want him to come back.
Oh,
on
yeah, it's
another
really,
trip.
really good.
I'm stuck about, don't worry.
Why do you think it's shit?
Because manual, mate. I mean, what? Oh, no, you got a manual one as well. I forgot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's manual, mate. I don't like it. I'm not interested.
I actually haven't looked inside. What's your seat setup?
it's got a
What's
manual
your-
gearbox.
Are you caged? Are you?
Cage, bucket seats, Pepita.
Wow, but manual. I think it's looked really good. I have to say, in the whole 992s are too big and blah blah. It's looked good this week. I have to say.
Yeah, yeah.
It's looked good. So
Good
I'm
value for money, though.
I'm sorry that Tony hates it. I
I don't hate it, mate. Just wrong gearbox.
All right. Now, we thought when we launched this trip,
Oh, perfect.
we thought this trip would be hot hatch central. We actually reached out to a few manufacturers, saying maybe we should borrow hot hatches so that we can be in the mix. Then all of you turned up in supercars, but thank you for doing so. Except Dan. Where are you, Dan? There
Well done,
he
boy.
is in his Golf GTI.
He's only 18.
Oh, so
How old are you,
no,
Dan?
you're not, Dan. Are you? 24, that's exactly it.
He looks 18.
We need to get a skincare routine. Because again, just like with Cedric and the G20i, you have been given it large. And there have been so many times where I've seen GT3 struggling to keep up with you on many occasions. How many laps around the Nürburgring did you do?
3.
Oh,
Three.
well done, mate. Did you really?
I mean,
Good boy.
I barely did half a lap. I was so terrified.
flapping.
He was just sending it.
Well done,
Absolutely
mate.
sending it. So I think that's been amazing. And as I say, that's kind of what we thought was going to be on this trip, and it's been so great to see and so fun, and I hope you've enjoyed it and been in the mix. Maybe the rain helped you slightly at times, yeah, but also your driving has been pretty crazy. So I think it's great that you bought that car. It's been cool to see. I've been a fan. Thoughts on the Golf GTI, Tony?
Good car.
Great, look at that. Even the seal of approval.
Good
from
car, mate.
this dickhead. So next up,
Oh, me.
Dan and James in the Vantage.
That's the biggest partnership I've ever seen. Where are you? Oh, hello. Actually,
This
he's quite
just
big.
cuts me to the core. Because I've talked to Dan about how much he loves that car. and
Me?
it's everything. No, to Dan.
Oh,
And you just squished him.
torn him a new one.
I mean,
Sorry, Dan.
it's looked fantastic. But we have to give you a round of applause because you've become a de facto part of the STG/BTG Trial Tour team. Every car park, you have been there, seeing people in, seeing people out, helping with barriers, helping with parking. You have been a fantastic part of this tour, purely for your actual logistic role. So thank you for that. We'll get you a high vis next time.
He's got a logistics company, though.
Oh, do you actually have a logistics company? No.
Done him.
Anyway, why you still think that car's crap, don't you? You just never liked that generation.
I actually had quite a long conversation with him earlier, and I said that for the money and what it is, because it's basically a Merc, it's good.
I think it is good because it's still got the look and the
I did say
vibe.
that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I just don't like all the infotainment and all the... It doesn't work, mate. It's stupid.
Yeah, all of your Aston Martin hate has been around that car.
Yeah.
So it is on.
No, it's been
on
around the
point
old
for
one.
you to. No, but in general, I would say when we got a little peek behind the curtains, when we got in trouble with Aston Martin,
Which time?
It was because of
When was
comments
that?
around that Vantage as
Oh,
well.
okay, fine.
Anyway, let's move on. It's been great. Sounded very good. All trip has sounded good. And you're right there, mate.
Loose.
Doesn't matter.
Give me the dodgy one.
No, that can fall off.
Oh.
Yeah, just don't fiddle with things. Sorry, audio listeners. Tony was picking apart his microphone. Moving on to David and the Boxster GTS. David, where are you? Oh, right here at the front. I would say a wonderful cruiser that car has been this week. You have looked on point everywhere you've gone. Has the roof gone down at any stage?
It was down today.
It was down to...
In the rain, because I couldn't get it to go back up.
Couldn't get it to go back. The roof got stuck.
Get back to 30 mile an hour to get down. It was empty.
We were going too fast for him to get the roof back down. But I mean, we've said so many times over,
Oh, it's a bloody
those
brilliant car, that
GTS
car.
variants, spot on, sounds amazing, looks great. We lost you at one point. I saw you down the road because it's great spec. I'm a fan.
I
We're
really
fans,
like
aren't
it.
we?
Yeah, yeah. It's a fantastic car.
I am now a Boxster man, so we're in the Boxster club.
Yeah, but you got a proper one. That,
We should-
that is not a proper Boxster,
What,
mate.
my
That-
Boxster?
Mate,
The original.
seriously.
It started it all. Save Porsche as a company. Fight me.
What?
All right.
Slower than the Golf.
Next up, we got, and there is a lot of Porsches. We should just say, should we clarify quickly
There's 15.
for the audience at home?
There's only 20 cars.
This
no.
wasn't supposed to be another Porsche tour. When we did Portugal, we were like, how do we make sure it's not another Porsche trip?
Well, we can exclude them next time if you want.
But I don't want to.
No.
And I think all our audience own them. Or in
fair.
some various
Well, half of
forms.
them do
Half
here.
of them do, clearly. But yeah, Lee with the 992 GT3 Touring.
Great
Lee
car.
obviously came over from Ireland. Where are you, Lee?
Where are you,
There
Lee?
you go, right in the front. I'm looking
From
straight
Ireland,
past
Lee.
you.
Oh, yeah, you rang me, didn't
From
you?
Belfast.
You wanted...
I considered leaving the car off first and travelling, but I just drove anyway. So
You drove, but didn't you drive down from Scotland?
yeah,
You did 9 hours from Scotland.
But you live in
Then
Ireland.
the early start. No, but you had to get the ferry over to Scotland, right? You got the ferry over to Scotland. Then you drove all the way down.
Why didn't you get to Liverpool?
Why didn't you go to Liverpool?
Because he's Irish, mate. Does for you. I'm surprised he didn't go via Denmark.
Sorry? Is there a boat that goes to Liverpool?
Yes.
no, I looked at it, just didn't sit timing wise.
Oh, fair.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there are a lot of 992 GT3s here, so it's hard to like go in and like plaudits about all of them. I'm in one, so obviously I'm a fan. And the Tourings have all looked spectacular, various different specs. It's been a great car for this trip.
It's
mate.
actually really nice. It's a really
Yeah,
nice spec as
it's
well.
really nice.
And that plate's worth a few quid as well, by the way.
Yeah.
You trying to
won't
make an
show-
offer? What are you doing?
No, I'm not making an offer.
Yeah,
My
you
name's
do it.
not Lee.
No.
Why? Are you joking?
To flip it. Because you're a dealer, you're
flip
flipping
what?
stuff. I don't know. What you
No,
might go
I
to
don't.
the
I flip
plate
cars,
market.
not plates.
Yeah, fair enough.
I only got the car for 3 weeks ago, so this is really the first Yeah.
Done well, mate.
He's saying he got the car 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So actually, there's a handful of you in the room that really have got cars very recently. So to launch into this trip and drive the way you've been driving, having just taken delivery, is pretty damn impressive. So yeah, we're only going to say nice things about 992 GT3s, considering that we both own them. Grant with the GTS. Here he is now. Grant, you have been a fantastic addition to this group. I think
Don't stop talking.
The WhatsApp group, the WhatsApp chat would be silent without your interjections. But it's made us all enjoy all those rainy drives. And I'd say your car, the spec for me, has saved it. Because not that it's a bad car, but the blue has made
Is it sharp? Is it sharp blue?
Sharp blue. Everywhere we've gone,
Yeah, it's nice.
I like Grant's one.
Well, you can't miss it.
I literally can't miss
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Which has been great. So
Yeah,
whenever I've lost the crowd, I just go, oh yeah, Grant's still here. Okay, fine. You had a good time in that car?
Yeah, love it. Yeah.
Very happy, right? Yeah, I mean,
Is it the 4 or the 2?
So,
It's the 2.
a proper car.
Yeah,
It's
proper car.
proper driver.
Yeah.
Lovely bit of kit. Hussein. Okay, so obviously we're moving on to another 992 GT3 Touring.
Oh, mate,
Can-
but that's a nice spec, that car.
Can I say? Am I allowed to say what you told me?
you can.
I
What?
can.
Why
That
didn't you
colour, so
tell
it's a
me?
satin green
Yeah, I know.
992 GT3. It's not what he ordered,
Oh.
but it's what turned up. And Porsche said, "Well, if you don't want it, someone else will have it. Adios, amigo."
Did they really just say that?
Literally,
How many Boxsters and Caymans you have to buy to have that car?
Nonsense.
not telling.
Not telling.
412. Yeah. Actually, yeah. David got his GTS from Hussein. Actually,
And does your wife drive a Cayenne or Macan?
Taycan.
Taycan.
She did have a Macan, but she likes her Range Rovers, so she's got.
She's in the Range Rovers now, which means you're not getting an allocation on the next car. It's maybe why they delivered you the wrong colour. But I actually think the spec has turned out fantastic.
Unbelievable. It's got lovely interior as well.
The interior's spot on. The wheel, everything is spectacular. So I know it's not exactly what you wanted, but boy, I think it's looked really good on this trip. So
Smells nice in there as well.
the what?
Smells nice.
It's,
Yeah.
when did you?
I got in the car today and moved
for
it.
the photos.
Yeah, it
Is that
smells
little-
lovely. Oh, it's nice, your car. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
there is a smashing of a glass.
There's always one, isn't there?
We are this.
Yeah,
This
now.
was advertised as live podcast with drinks, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm afraid that our first victim has fallen. We'll deal with that shortly, I suppose. Now, where do we start on our next victim?
Your car isn't the biggest pile of shit. This one is.
Ian and the 360 Spider. Now, Ian, we were in a lot of conversation before the trip, obviously back and forth. You had a few cars you were weighing up. There's potential new purchases which you thought maybe you would have in time. Anyway, you eventually said, oh, look, I'm going to bring the 360 Spider. Do you think it's a good choice? Even though Tony might rag me up. And I was like, yeah, mate, you have a blast. The weather will be beautiful. You have a great time. Obviously, I didn't know about the monsoons we were going to have. I mean, everyone knows what I'm going to say. So, Tony, let me come to you. Thoughts on Ian's car?
I was hustling you today, Tony.
You done well. You done well, yeah. But I had 2 ton of luggage and 4 people in the car. You done a good job trying to keep up with me in a car that's a ton lighter and a V8 supercar.
Okay, get on with it. Get on with it.
Yeah. Done him. So what can I say about your car? In fact, it couldn't pull skin off a rice pudding. It's probably about as fast as the Clio that's here somewhere.
Clio's probably faster, to be fair.
The thing I not like about the 360 is that it does make a good noise. When I was following you, it does make a fantastic noise, but it just don't go anywhere. It just sort of just sits there. It goes, and it's not moved. It's still there. It's like it's in park. You know, you've got the handbrake on.
Obviously, I've enjoyed following you immensely. And I've also enjoyed...
So it's a skip lorry.
Yeah. I've enjoyed hearing it and seeing it. And there was one stage on one of the motorways where the view out of my car is awful. You guys look at wing and Ian literally just sort of sunk under the wing. I saw the headlights of a 360 and I thought, oh, it's good to have that car on the trip. So forgive my...
I mean, it made it.
Well, that is a surprise. Because the truth being told, both of us had a conversation at the start of the week saying, we're a little bit nervous about a couple of cars, and I got to ask, yours was one. So we did check our AA membership. But it's here, and it will continue on. Shout out to AV Engineering, a car that's
Oh, does all look after it?
Car that's
Oh, I'm so sorry, mate.
Recommend if the roof leaked, I should use blue tack to stop.
If the roof leaked, he should have used blue
that
tack.
what
That
he
was
said?
sounds like an oldest comment, to be honest.
I've got some chewing gum in the car.
Next up, we've got the first of two very nice Caymans. Jacob and Grant, who've been in the black Cayman S all week. Where are you guys? There you go, just at the back here.
They've done well.
They've done so well. And what a stunning spec.
Father and son.
Yeah, father and son. We love it. We love a father and son crew. Jacob, I think I've said it to you before, like it's a bang on spec, that car. It's got all the right bits on it. He's a young lad.
What do you mean all of what seats and wheels and whatnot?
Yeah.
What do you mean all the right bits?
Mate, you don't
wouldn't know.
You don't talk Porsche Caymans, so just.
Oh, okay, fine.
Jacob knows what I mean.
Is it a manual or an auto?
It's a manual, mate. Why would you? What? An Auto 987 Cayman?
Is that the old?
Tiptronic.
Oh, is that a tip? Would that have been a tip? Oh yeah, you've done well. No, I just needed to check, mate.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys have been right in the mix.
360.
It is faster than the 360. And I think you've been having a lovely time, right?
Great time.
Is this your first father and son road trip?
Yes.
Yes. Will you do another one?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. That's
Just
very
not
encouraging.
together.
Just not together. Yeah. Oh, we're cheering. We're clapping that one. We like that one. Okay, amazing. Jamie and Dan in the blue 911 Turbo S. Where are you guys?
Proper car.
Proper car, right at the back here.
You know you bought that for the trip.
Well, can I say what? Can I tell everything? So there was supposed to be another car here, right?
Yeah.
What was the other car?
296.
Ferrari 296.
Whoops.
Be honest, we got very excited. We're like, whoa, heavy hitters in town. And you sent me an email about a week ago saying, cars in the garage, I'm bringing the Porsche. At which point I was like, oh God, what's turning up now? And you told me this stunning 911 Turbo S, which I think has ended up being kind of the perfect car for the trip, right?
Literally.
Yeah, they've had a
car.
great time. And so literally, how many miles did I have on it before you came here?
96.
96 miles straight into the monsoons of Germany. But, it's looked great, and I think you've had a great time. And we had a great dinner the other night. So, thank you for not abandoning the trip and still bringing something cool. Now, oh, God, I'm nervous. From the 360 Spider to the Gallardo Superleggera. James and John, right there. James right here. Now, if there were two cars we were worried about, it was the 360 Spider, but more so the Gallardo Superleggera. Now, you don't know this. We worked something out, James, the other night at dinner or lunch, that I very nearly test drove his car.
Right.
It used to be at one
two silly
stage
people then.
at Furlongers in Kent.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make a video on Superleggeras, and I was trying to find one. And Furlongers were great, and Matt there offered me the car, and I was like, can you send me some pics? And the pics came through, bit of a ricer spec.
Right.
It was a bit leery, had green bits all over it and fake exhaust and all these things. So I went off and drove another one that was very nice somewhere else. And we worked out that I essentially slagged off his car in a video about 3 years ago. And I was saying, oh yeah, there's these awful tints and this awful exhaust, and it had green calipers. He's like, yep, still got all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my car.
So that's the one. But I mean, I think, and hands up if you agree, it's been the best sounding car this week.
All
it
day
has
long,
sounded
All day long,
unbelievable. In questionable fumes and smoke coming out of the car upon acceleration. You say that's normal?
That's the Sport Cat.
Sport cats.
Yeah.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I believe you. But it's been great, right? I mean, you've had a blast. It sounded amazing. You two have been kind of in convoy a lot of the way, the 360 and the Gallardo.
Is the Gallardo faster than the 360? Must be.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh, they're looking at each other. Okay.
What do you mean acceleration? Flipping, I can run faster than your car. Are you joking? Acceleration.
Yeah, it smokes it off the line, absolutely.
But then what
Ian
about
thinks he's
after
better
that?
on the brakes and the corners. Ian gives it large in the brakes and the corners.
So it's faster all the while then?
Yeah.
It's faster mid-range and top end. It's faster, basically. Yeah.
It's fulfilled my modern classic dreams, though.
You don't want one, do you?
I actually did. At one stage, I really wanted
I know
one.
you did, yeah.
But to see those two together on this trip has been pretty spectacular, as I say, as a fan of that era. So, yeah, I'm sure it's not...
Because they're literally same era, aren't they?
Of course, yeah. It's a bit later, actually, in 2009 or something like that.
Oh, mate,
I think.
that's not fair.
It's a 430 rival.
Oh, that's not fair, mate.
Yeah, Scuderia rival.
Oh, mate, I'm
exactly.
so sorry. That is terrible, mate.
I'm sure it's not the last time we'll talk about the car, the Superleggera. Joel,
Mate, you had a
where's
360
Joel?
keeping up with him. It's last
Joel
year.
at the back in the F-Type, P450. Joel, what I loved is the first time I met Joel was on the ferry. We were having a conversation.
You met everyone.
Well, no, I met some people after the ferry, actually. Something buzzing on there. We got a buzz. Okay, well, let me get rid of the buzz on the speakers. 2 seconds. Oh, that's an awful buzz, isn't it? Hold on. Interjection of the buzz. Ah! Okay. That was a panic, wasn't it? My God, that was terrifying. Right. Okay,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sam Flapping.
Hands up if you think you've seen me flap this week. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Nick. Bastard. So, yeah, I met some people post the fair. I didn't have a chance to talk to everyone. But we sat down and started chatting, and he'd spilt a little bit of his coffee on the table. And it literally wound me up so much how long it took you to mop up that coffee. What were you thinking? I was watching. I kept saying, mate, watch it doesn't drip on your leg. Watch it doesn't drip on your leg. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And then he just kept talking to me. And it was, and I was like, Joe, it's literally dripping on your leg. And he's like, yeah, no worries. Just kept going. And I was like, this guy's going to be an amazing person to have on the tour. But you've had a blast in that car, right? I mean, 2 F-types on this trip. I've been ecstatic about that. All-wheel drive, I think, has been a fantastic choice. But we've spoken about how great that car is on this journey, and perfect GT car. And you've done the trip solo. So well done. Brave thing to do. I don't think you knew anyone in this room beforehand, but as I say, from the coffee drip onwards, you've been a character. So thank you very much. And yeah, very cool to see that car. And we'll move straight on to the other F-type, Jonathan Karim in the R, the original R, 2015 R.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that thing sounded amazing. Again, all-wheel drive. I think if you had the rear-wheel drive, you would be dead. I mean, literally, we wouldn't have seen you here. So, well done for going for something a bit more sensible. Yeah, the 2 F-types have been amazing. Now, we'll give it a little shout out now, and I'm sure it'll come into some stories later. But, Jonathan, we've got to talk about the Alpine A110 GT.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know if you know this story. Jonathan came to one of our live events at Alexander's Prestige about a year or so ago.
Yeah, I recognise him, yeah.
And it chewed my ear off about how he really wanted an Alpine. He was like, what was it like? And I can't
You
remember what
told him to get one?
I can't remember. I don't know. I actually can't remember what
You politely nodded, even though I knew inside he was thinking.
You can sometimes be polite to me.
Yeah, I was being very polite.
Yeah.
And then here you are a year later in your dream car, in your dream spec, actually a car that you spec'd out back then, couldn't take and end up buying on a trip. And it's just been hustled everywhere. That car's been...
Did you buy it new?
Yeah.
Fair.
So
you did spec it?
I spec'd it, but then I couldn't take it because the timing wasn't right. And it sat in the dealership in Manchester.
Of course it did, with the rest of them.
So the story that Jonathan said was that he ordered the car originally. When it arrived, he couldn't take delivery, said, I don't want it. And then it sat in the dealership for 10 months, which Tony says is fairly normal for Alpines. And then suddenly you were able to go and purchase it. And there it was, the car that you'd spec'd and your sort of dream Alpine. So I think it's a great story.
Meant to be.
It's been awesome on the trip. So that's been great to see. Jonathan and Thomas in the Amethyst GT3 Touring.
Oh, that's a nice car.
Oh, that's a bloody
That's a nice car.
spec.
Where are you,
Right,
Jonathan?
guys.
There
in
he
the
is,
middle
boy.
here. Oh, it's
Father
a-
and son?
Yeah, another
Yeah.
combo. We like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been it's a great spec.
Yeah.
Well, you gave it large a little bit coming down Glock. Didn't we? Had a little moment, didn't we? Squirreling away. Yeah, mate. He was giving it large.
Going too fast.
Yeah. No. I couldn't keep up.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, great. I mean, the Porsche love goes in. Mark and the turbo.
Yeah, well,
Who literally turned up saying, we're Mark and Mars. This ain't Mark. Don't worry, it's Mark and Mars. All right. You guys have had a great time, right? And Mark, you didn't really know what we were about or what this was about. You don't have to say. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've absolutely had a blast.
He's
Lovely.
had a blast. That is great to hear, and that's what we
you'd
love
be
to
good
hear.
company as well. to be fair.
Fantastic company.
Yeah.
And that car's looked amazing. And what I love is every spirited driver we do, I go, must have been great in the turbo. And Mark, you've gone, yeah, it does lose itself every now and again. There's been a few scribbly moments. But it's been amazing. Now, my on-the-road friend has ended up being, Michael, are you here? Where are you, Michael? Oh, you're there.
There he is.
Everywhere I've gone, I've been followed by one of the most spectacular cars on the trip, just in terms of rarity and numbers and things like that. A bloody GT2 RS. I mean,
Yeah.
we both lost our minds when you sent a message saying, yeah, I'm bringing a GT2 RS. We were like, is he speaking to the right people? But lo and behold, you did turn up, parked next to Cedric at the car park. And we just keep meeting on the road, don't we? I don't know why. Every now and again, especially in the Autobahn. Yeah, you don't know, tracking me down. I have loved it, Michael. So a little bit low-key stalking. But I mean, I think for all of us, it's been a treat to see a 2RS being properly used, properly enjoyed, whether it's been on the Autobahn, whether it's been up in these twisties. Like today, we followed you down the Gross Glockner. And I mean, still one of your favourite cars?
Yeah. Like,
Has this trip made you want one anymore?
no.
Oh, sorry, Michael.
I've missed the boat with that car. It's literally probably one of my biggest regrets. I really should have bought one.
You should have.
I kicked myself, mate. I think it's too late now.
And I think the thing which is amazing about what you said to me today was that actually, because that car's relatively new to you, you've learned that it's actually way more capable in all conditions than you thought. You were sort of a little bit intimidated, is that fair to say? At least in the wet and stuff, but you've really been able to get the grip down and actually been like, oh, I'm probably going to drive this 10 tenths faster. Mad.
It's like, I don't know, in my hands, this is like, you know, you're just like the little idiot. And actually this car deserves someone, I suppose, who's like, I don't know, 50 million times a better driver than I am. But I'm the lucky bastard who has it.
Well done you, sir. Well done you. Now, a man after my own heart. Nick, of course, we have to mention the FF. The barge, the boat of the trip.
Is it an FF or Lusso?
Oh, mate, don't start.
Is it
Are
an
you
FF?
serious? You thought it was a Lisso?
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
That's what I thought.
Aren't you in the car business?
Well, I'm not very good anymore.
No, clearly. I mean, what a dream car for this trip, right? I mean, I know you've been having a good time, apart from when a truck nearly ploughed into you. But that's happened to all of us, right? But yeah, I mean, it's looked perfect, it sounded perfect, it's been comfortable for you too, I guess, right? So I've been excited to see it. Do you like FFs? I've never asked.
Oh, I thought it was a Lusso.
Wait, do you like Lissos?
I like Lusso.
You like Lissos?
Yeah, I love them.
Okay, so you like Nick's Lisso?
Yeah,
perfect.
I love it.
Okay, great.
Nice spec as well. It's grey.
Yeah, no, it's been great to see and great to hear. Nero Nish in the other Cayman, the white Cayman, I mean, bought from new in 2009.
How many miles you done?
68,000 miles.
Wow.
Spec
Got red interior.
Spec to the 10th. Red interior.
It's a bit rude.
Sorry, spec to the 9s.
Yeah. That's a bit rude as well.
Edit that out.
Edit that
Spec
out.
to the 9s. Spec to the 9s. But yeah, I mean, I think both Caymans have been mega, and you two have been showing the dive and having a blast, right? It's been epic to see you turn up. And what I love is when we got to the Porsche Museum and all the cars could park underneath, got them all parked up, and tour was starting right, everyone head in. Turn around, Neil with his cloth wiping down and washing his car outside. So I think you'll be all right, mate. It looks pretty clean. Because no, I just got to go find a few details. Now, a few more to go, but back to our idea of a hot hatch tour. We have to talk about Paul and Ed in the Clio RS 200. Where are you guys?
There you are.
Right in the front. Now,
Well done, boys.
we have to declare to the audience at home, Paul does fly jetpacks for a living. So you have to understand that about him.
Do you really?
You did not know that?
So your jetpack's faster than your car?
But I think more importantly, it makes it much more easy to understand why he drives that car like such an insane nutter.
Yeah.
Because it's been so fast, mate. All week, you have just literally been flying around the ring. How many laps did you do on the 4 laps around
Did
the
you
ring?
really? Oh,
Never
well-
been. Straight
well
out.
done, mate.
Did kill the car. I couldn't start the next morning, but let's skip past that. It was French, having a bit of a mare. But I know you had a blast up on the Glockner today. And as I think all of us, even my Instagram went mental for that car. When I posted the first group reel, everyone was like, oh, look at the RS 200. So it's
Have
been
you
good
enjoyed
to see.
yourself in it, yeah?
Oh, mega, yeah.
Have you at any point thought, oh, what have I done here? This car's not fast enough.
Never.
Perfect. That's perfect.
It's his dream work.
Because that's exactly what hot hatch is all about, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
10 tenths everywhere and having
Yeah.
a blast. And Ed, again, someone who didn't really know who we were or much about the car. And I saw you behind the wheel a few times this morning.
Did you have a drive?
Do you know what Paul did? We had the steepest car park this morning. It was a stressful experience. Why didn't you drive out of the car park, mate? So literally, poor guy was there trying to balance the clutch for the first time. Not really into cars, Paul. You'll be fine. But yeah, he's learned. But
Right. Who's normally there in the passenger seat going, okay, accelerate now, brake now. Brake.
slightly concerning. But yeah, no. It's been great to have you guys along. Ryan and Ramon in the Carrera T. Where are you guys? Yeah, at the back here. So obviously, I think we can declare you originally we were bringing a 718 Spider RS. Saw the weather forecast, and it was nothing to do with the fact that you didn't want to be in Cup 2 tires. You just thought, I don't want to drive a Spider RS with the roof up all week. Yeah, pretty much. And bought one of my favorite cars, 992 Carrera T, which again, that was hustling today. I mean, that's a great car, but do you know?
What's the parts bin car, as far as I'm concerned?
Okay.
No, it is. But you were right to bring it and not bring the RS. You'd have been miserable in that RS.
I think you would.
This week, you would have been miserable. You might have been a bit happier today because of what we've done today, but the rest of the week, you'd have been miserable because you can't shut that bloody thing up.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
you.
as you said, the noise with the roof. But I mean, it's looked great. I'm a fan. So, right, last couple. Going to definitely be some stories. Scott, where do we start, Scott?
There's two Scotts.
Firstly, we're going American Scott. Firstly, American Scott, because actually we don't have much to say. Could we pass the microphone back to Scott, please? Sorry, Scott, I'm putting you on microphone because
We're getting you in.
we're going to get into it. But Scott came all the way here from America, and this is a rental car. So it's a BMW M850i. Please tell us everything about your experience in the M850i.
It was unbelievable. I initially rented a Z4 standard, and I convinced the guy at the rental agency to upgrade me to the 850, which was a good move. And I had the top down for much of the trip, except for the monsoon times, which was most of it. And the first night, I nicked it in the garage, which sucked, but
Rental car life.
Yeah, it's a rental car, yes. So, and I got the insurance. So, but it was unbelievable. I had the most incredible experience. I heard about the podcast, this trip on the podcast when I was here on this pass. I can't pronounce it.
Grossglockner.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
In June with a buddy of mine, and you were like, "Yo, come with by yourself. We'll hook you up with someone." And I reached out to you by email. And I said, "You hook me up with someone." You're like, "No, you're on your own."
Yeah. There's not Tinder for driving tours. Yeah.
And I just met the most incredible people. I learned a new way to talk. Everything is proper. Everyone's a bloke.
We spoke about cracking on. Yeah.
Crack on.
Yeah,
It was just amazing. I
Well,
really
you've definitely
enjoyed
been
it. Great job.
You've been one of the personalities of the trip, and I think that car, one way or another, has stood out. Even though it's just a rental, it's held its place. So I'm glad you've had a good time. But other Scott, you did raise your hand. Now, before we get into your M4, which I've been a big fan of, I don't think everyone in this room knows this, and I'm going to embarrass you now. Does everyone here know Scott is a double Olympian?
Not us.
Everyone does know. Oh, fine, good. Well, round of applause for Scott for being a double Olympian.
He literally spent all week telling everyone.
He literally spent all week telling everyone. Apparently, that's what Tony said. Well, I'm an international athlete. You may have seen me at the Olympics.
But you've got to tell it, you know who I am.
Yeah. Did you watch the Olympics? Recognize me? But no, aside from your absolutely incredible career, the car, I've loved the car, mate. You know, I used to hate those M4s.
I thought you still did.
No, well, I probably still do. But that spec, firstly, bang on. And probably the way
What
you've been
yellow is that
driving it.
again?
Austin, yeah.
Austin yellow.
Austin
that's
yellow.
Right, yeah.
I think I did a really early road trip, one of those Shmee road trips, and he had one of them on his trip, Austin yellow. So it kind of took me back. And the nice wheels.
Well, do you want to tell the story? I mean, you broke it.
Well, hold on a sec. Let's get the microphone towards Scott, because also you are our only police stop of the week. The only person that ran into any kind of police trouble. So tell us all.
So I was just driving down some of the twisties yesterday, and all of a sudden this dickhead in an old
wasn't me.
Mercedes nearly wiped us out. I had one of the camera guys in with me and my mate Toddy, and we were kind of like, Jesus Christ, like what's going on here? Like everyone was just started driving like all the locals just started driving like dickheads, and and then I was literally doing 30 kilometers through this little town, and this copper pulls up behind, and I'm like, oh, here we go. And then he pulls me over.
So as I watched the Olympics in the summer, you were great.
tried doing me for no UK sticker. Told him it blew off because it's wet.
In the monsoon.
Yeah, he asked me where the GB sticker was on the number plate. I said, oh, the number plate came with the car, which it didn't. Asked where I was going. I told him Switzerland.
Well done.
Sent him the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then, he just literally like asked for my V5. Give him my V5, said he's never seen one before. So I had to walk him through the V5.
Great.
Insurance documents, the whole works. And then, and then decided that he was just going to send me on my way after a breathalyzer. So,
oh, breathalyzer as well.
Full works.
They were desperate to find you for something.
Yeah,
weren't
they would. Yeah, they
well,
were
you
trying.
escaped, but I think, as our one and only police moment of the trip,
Yeah.
it was actually disappointingly boring. You know what I mean? I wish you were in cuffs or something.
He kind of pricked his ears up when there was about 4 or 5 of, I think you were in the convoy Sam, and there was about 4 or 5 of you that went flying past, and he kind of pricked his ears up. And are you with them? And I was like, oh yeah. There's about 30 of us. Like we're all spread out.
There's all in it.
It's all in it. Yeah, go get them. They were going way too fast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the car's been great, and you've been slipping and sliding everywhere. And you even took Sam, our cameraman, at one point. So thank you
Yeah,
very much.
no worries.
And an honour to have you amongst us mere mortals.
Thank you.
And then finally, we have to also mention Simon and his 992 GT3, the one final GT3, but I think worthy of mentioning because had one of our female passengers, one of our female attendees. Simon had Penny along with him as well. And I think we all know GT3s aren't exactly, loved by female counterparts.
No.
I think that's fair to say. And yours is like I would say a Tony GT3. You got all the bits on it.
It's literally the same, mate, apart from it's...
Well, I had to do the seat mod on it before.
You had to do a seat mod.
But the blocks that you can buy for the track.
Yeah.
Seat back, yeah, I had to do that for it.
Oh, wow. And how many times were you told to slow down?
No.
Never. What a great passenger Penny's turned out to be. I think
She's in the spa.
She's in the spa. Yeah, she's not come to the.
She's drinking now.
Oh, she's drinking. Yeah.
Is she drinking?
She's not in the spa. She's drinking. Well, good on her. Good choice.
We've got one more as well, mate.
No, we've done them all.
Yeah, we've got James in the GT4 in the Cayman.
Where?
Well, where is it? It's not on the list. There he is.
I haven't done
it. Yeah. James, see over there.
James and Fraser in the silver GT4.
There it is. It's there.
When did I skip past that?
Silly boy.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Where are you?
Lucky
right
one of
in
us
the
is on.
middle. Oh, well, that was a nerve-wracking moment. I was about to move on. You've had a blast in that car, right? Actually, if you think about it, in our cliched life of GT4 and M2s, you've been the only one representing our core home audience. But I mean, you've been having a great time, right? And another father and son combo.
Yeah, another father. And actually, do you know what? All things considered, for power and weight and everything, it's a PDK as well.
Yeah.
That's actually probably one of the best cars here. Like, genuinely.
How much do you regret not having lift, though?
Well, you can't have lift. It's not.
Yeah.
No, you can't have it. You can't spec it.
I'm winding him up because we went through the whole thing. There were some car park incidents, let's say.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I think you were wishing you had lift. Yeah, we found some very difficult to enter car parks for poor Fraser and the GT4.
Yeah, but they are low GT4s.
Yeah, they are.
They
actually
are
impressively
genuinely.
low, yeah.
They are genuinely low. They're lower than a GT3, and you can't get lifted.
You know why I think I skipped past it? I got nervous by how many Porsches we were talking about. And I was like, let's move on. Anyway, that pretty much is the crew. So we didn't mention the F8 because Mike left. So you snooze, you lose, Mike. But it has been an amazing group to be driving around. And Tony's been here in the M3 Touring. I've been in the GT3. And somehow, yeah, despite the rain, we've all managed to, I think, enjoy our cars in one way or another. We have plenty more stories to come, which will feature in a main channel video next weekend, which will have a lot of highlights, a lot of footage from this trip. So stay tuned for that.
We're going to dob you all in.
Dob you all in. When you're not in the room, we're going to tell the truth about exactly what's going on. But we actually have a few little awards and prizes that we thought we would give out before we fully
To
wrap
ourselves?
up. Yeah.
Oh.
What great hosts we've been. No, we thought we would give out a few little non-serious awards before we all go off for dinner because it's worth celebrating some of you. But you have all been fantastic guests, genuinely. I think, correct me if I'm wrong and feel free to elaborate, but when we did Portugal, we were so lucky and fortunate with the group that came on that trip. One thing which we all said at the time was how special that group was, how we all got on. They actually sent an email saying that they're still in their WhatsApp group, still talking. They're actually going to an
Still
event
mates.
at Brands Hatch this weekend to all hang out. And we didn't think that would be possible to replicate, but generally from our side, you have replicated that, but just expanded it because there's bloody 50 of you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you've all been a pleasure, by the way.
You've all been
Genuinely, you've all
fantastic.
been an absolute pleasure.
and each of you brought something different to the trip, whether it's in your drive and your personality, but all the lunches, all the dinners and the breakfast. It's continued what we think has been a successful formula of people first, cars and destination second. So you all deserve a prize, but there are 5 of you that are going to get an actual prize.
What are we going to give him, mate?
Well, sorry for those of you that this will be a repetitive prize if you win, but some of you have been eyeing up an old Patreon gift, which is the Behind the Glass Remove Before podcast keyring. And because you all got so excited about or jealous of those that had it, luckily we had some with us. So you will be getting a lovely keyring. A small memento, I know, and lots of you already have them. But let's kick things off with our hidden driving hero. Now, a few of you were in contention for the hidden driving hero. People, we were unsuspecting of, and then suddenly had their moment and they launched it. Well, oh my God, they know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
So Ryan on the Growth Clock and the Carrera T today. Whoa, that was a surprise. But I think for both of us, there was one true winner for this, right?
Yep.
which had to be, well, the proof in the pudding came at the go-karting ring. So for those of you listening at home, we went to Spa to do some go-karting. And I don't know if you ever go-karted in the rain. It's terrifying. Nothing happens. You turn the wheel, nothing
go
happens.
straight.
It's just death. I mean, everyone crashed. People nearly died. People got influenza because it was just so cold and
I mean,
wet.
I was genuinely ill. I had a headache.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
day.
I've still
I don't
got
know if I told you.
You did tell me
I did.
quite a few times. But it was huge amounts of fun. And there was somebody that appeared out of nowhere as the true pace setter.
Yeah.
And that was James Smith. So, James, please come on up and collect your lovely keyring with a round of applause.
And the irony in all
Right
of it.
answer. You can come back when you're allowed to drive.
Yeah, that's just about to say the irony. He hasn't even got a driving license.
Once you get your license. That's why you were our hidden driving hero, because the fastest man here was the 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Now, the next award is most effort to get here. And there's really only a small group who qualify for this.
Yeah.
Probably 3 of you, which is Scott, Lee, and Amin, and Abdullah. Should we? Oh, no, you don't want to tell us.
No.
We thought we'd made our mind up. Here's Amin, shipping his car over. Lee come all the way from Ireland, and of course, Scott from America.
Yeah.
We've had a last-minute decision of change of hearts.
Have we?
Yes.
Do I know about that?
Nope.
Right. Well, we got to be in agreement of the award.
Oh, bloody hell. Scott, it's you, mate. It's you, Scott. Round of applause.
Well done,
All the way from America. There is a keyring here. As and when you want to come and collect it, there's a keyring. Purely, coming over from America, at one point he said the flight here was more enjoyable than that last drive. And I went, I'm so glad you're part of this group. But no, you have been a personality and a character the whole time. And I said the fact that you're in a rental giving it large has been amazing to see. So we move on to car that impressed the most. Tony, take us through some of the contenders for car that impressed the most.
Well, I think the Clio's up there. Genuinely. The Golf's got to have a shout. The Turbo S's.
Yeah, I
will be there.
Both turbos.
Because as an all-round package and what we've done this week, the Turbo S does everything. My M3.
Hold on a sec. You can't put yourself in contention.
Well, because we had a little bit of a chat. Me and you had a little bit of a chat before, and I never told him about the M3 because he said, no, you can't say that. But he can't. It's tough now. I've said it.
You can't put yourself in contention.
I'm not going to pick it. But I'm saying
Fine.
we're talking about contenders.
Sure. Okay.
And what's happened throughout the week.
Okay.
But there really can only be one, can't there?
Yeah.
Really?
I think there can only be one.
Would you like to announce it, or would you like me to do it?
Well, up to you.
I think you should do it.
Okay, because you can't remember.
I can remember. It's written on the screen.
The winner is Jonathan in the Alpine A110. Sir, there have been plenty of times when I have genuinely struggled to keep up with you. You have been flat out everywhere. Your brakes stink at every single stop. Heat has been pouring off your car. But I think it's lived up to every expectation I hope you had for that car. And we both remarked multiple times, like, I don't think either of us have thought of ever owning an Alpine, and maybe we're not going to go out and buy one, but we've both been like, holy crap, that thing really delivers on its promise. And I think a lot of people have noticed how good that thing has been. I know you've already got a keyring, so I'll think of a different price for you.
We'll get you a beer.
We'll get you a beer. Now, car we just can't believe made it to the end.
Yeah. And there's wait a minute. And there's a few contenders there as well.
There's a lot of contenders.
There's quite a lot of contenders.
But really two that...
No, because I can think of maybe more than two.
Go on, please.
The Clio.
When it shat itself at the Nürburgring, for sure, yeah.
And them other two. Oh, yeah, of course. No, mate. Not for engine reasons, the Vantage.
I was just stirring the pot there.
But I did forget about it, mate, so... But there really was... there's really only a silver and gold.
Yeah.
The silver being... So it's out of the Lambo and the 360.
Obviously.
It can't be.
Who else could it be?
And gold, meaning the biggest pile of poo, basically, that we was that made it to the end, is the Lambo.
which, by the way, there you go, mate, has apparently been doing passenger laps all afternoon
Have
up
you?
at the Glockner.
Oh, well done, mate.
6 or 7 people to go for rides in what you've just classed as the biggest
Who
pile
went
of
out
poo.
with him?
Hands up, yeah, a load of people.
Enjoy
went
it?
out. Yeah, look, half the group have gone for laps.
My own piece of shit.
Ian said he went from his own piece of shit to the other piece of shit. But it's no disrespect. You know I love those cars. I don't think Tony does. But there was multiple times, mainly when you were at the petrol station pouring litres of oil into your engine and texting us saying you were on business call so that you could afford your next rebuild. That we were like, oh my God, this isn't going to make it.
But it did sound good.
It sounded
Sounded
unbelievable. You know, we're mocking you slightly, but it has been, no, you're not. It has been fantastic to have on the trip, and we are very glad that you made it here safely. But as I say, we have to repeat that for all of you. It has blown out our expectations for this second trial tour, and you have motivated, I think, us to definitely look forward and do many more of these with many more of you. So for those of you at home, keep your eyes and ears peeled for information on future events like this. Hopefully you're as nice and as engaging and as good drivers as this group are, and hopefully for Tony's sake you bring better cars to the next event.
No, they've all got to come back, mate.
They've all got to come back.
They've all got to come back.
Yeah, definitely with the Superleggera. Right?
Yeah. No, he's welcome.
Yeah, with a new engine. But honestly, give yourselves all a round of applause, and thank you very much for joining us. All of you at home, make sure you're subscribed, all the usual stuff. We will see you next week when we're back in the studio, I think.
Are we?
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, we'll see you next week, wherever you're listening or watching. Keep doing so, and we'll catch up with you then. Bye-bye.
See ya.